Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide. To my left, your right, Alicia joining me tonight. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Did you say ahoy?
Ahoy.
Ahoy. This is not going to be your average episode of what we do here on Thursday nights. You know, we talk some Impact, we talk some news, but for what happened within the last 24 hours, it doesn't feel. Look, don't get me wrong, we love Impact,
right? Of course,
and it just feels like we should be discussing a lot more than that tonight. You know, and who passed away, especially today, deserves more than 5 minutes on our show. So I really do want to give more time to talking about the legends, and which I guess you can say a modern day legend that passed away, than what we just saw on TV. And don't get me wrong, like there is on the cover there, we are gonna go over this weekend's Emergence, and I'm gonna throw it to Bill if he wants to discuss stuff from the Multiverse United 2, especially from a personal point of view, because he was there live. So first of all, Bill, how are you?
Oh, as good as could be expected, J-Bo.
I hear you. Lots of emotional messages going on in the chat, and by all means, you know, as we discuss whoever we're discussing tonight, follow along with us and let us know your thoughts on the passing of Terry Funk, and especially today's Bray Wyatt. Here's Bell's Boy with a super chat. Thank you very much. Says, what a lousy week. Amen, brother. Amen. Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt have left us. All in an Emergence is this weekend. SoCal survived a tropical storm. Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay. Yeah, and I'm recovering from COVID again. Well, prayers for you, Bell's Boy. You get better, man. You get better. Hug your loved ones. Rest in peace, Bray and Terry. Yeah. Hear you there. Yeah, lot of sad remarks in the chat. I don't know wherever you guys want to start tonight. You know, it's this like I said, we're not going to do a typical show tonight. I feel like we need to talk a lot more about Terry and Bray than Impact tonight. But we'll cover some stuff. But where do you guys want to start?
Could go in any direction here, J-Bone. Like, obviously, this was very recent, the stuff with Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda. That was just hours ago we've learned of this. Because obviously
right before Impact hit the air, yeah,
and kudos to Impact for putting out their message saying they were putting out the condolences, and they weren't going to tweet it all tonight. Like they pretty much said, we're not going to live tweet. We're just going to leave it as is out of respect. Yeah. So kind of that's how we're treating this as well. That's why this is a little bit different. Because I was planning Like what was it, J-Bone? A couple hours before this news broke, I messaged our internal chat about a 10 bell salute for Terry Funk, because obviously a lot of history with Terry Funk. Obviously, it was early ECW days. With me down in the arena, he was the main guy back then. Like Terry Funk was the name attached to that promotion in the early days. So I saw Terry Funk wrestle quite a few times down in Philadelphia at old Swanson and Rittner. So a lot of good memories there. And I think that's always, especially with Terry, because I remember seeing him at House of Hardcore a couple years ago, where one of Tommy's later shows that he kind of did a whole thing for Terry Funk. And you could tell Terry wasn't in great shape back then. Like, obviously not as much of the surprise that you had here with the Bray situation kind of out of left field, although I know there were different health issues lately with him. But just at 36 years old, that's just, you never even think of that. It's just crazy. So,
yeah.
But yeah. Obviously a legend in Terry Funk that really took a lot of that hardcore wrestling that is more common today, made it a more of a common practice, allowed an ECW to kind of come through. And then a lot of what you see today with all the, like, he was an early deathmatch guy. He was
I was going to say Granddaddy Deathmatch.
Yeah, like he was doing those. Like he was a guy that really innovated a lot, and not with the typical wrestling innovation you think of today, but really what a lot of you see today has Terry Funk's fingerprints all over it. So definitely a legend in the business. I think almost all wrestlers are inspired by him in some way. So I think that's about as a high a compliment as you can give somebody that is that leaves that impression or effect on you. And then obviously, I think we all have been talking about it for, like, I think we've all known, like when there was rumblings of maybe a free agent in Bray Wyatt, everybody wanted him. We wanted him here in Impact. Why? Because he was so unique and different. And that's what you kind of always look for. And he was doing something totally original as well. And that's something you don't always get in wrestling, is someone that's doing something original. So when you see it, you notice it. But yeah, definitely some people that had some big impacts here, and very sad time to lose anybody in wrestling. And sadly, it feels like in this wrestling business, you hear it too often.
Too often.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's we at times forget the reality of the business, and we put these guys on another pedestal, and we think of them as invincible, you know, like the superheroes. And then this comes along and happens, you know, whether it's an elder statesman of the business like Terry, or who someone I would say is still up and coming.
Yeah.
No one's really seen him except for like the last 10 years, like majority of his stuff within the last 10 years, Bray Wyatt. It's just, man, it's
devastating.
It really is. It really is. Terry Funk, I unfortunately, I can't say as much as probably Bill can. I know he's done plenty, going all the way back from the NWA to helping out the younger generation in the ECW, you know, a revolutionary company.
Yeah, like that was my early, like I knew of Terry Funk because he was in Roadhouse. Come on, who doesn't know Terry Funk from Roadhouse?
You're staring down Patrick Swayze.
Like I kind of knew him like when I was a kid, and like be like, oh yeah, Terry Funk. But like at that point, he was doing more acting and stuff. He wasn't wrestling as much. But then he kind of started showing up and doing stuff like the death matches in Japan and then ECW. So I was lucky enough to see him many times. I still remember one of my like vivid impressions was an early match of his. It was him tagging with Stan the Lariat Hansen against Abdullah the Butcher and Kevin Sullivan.
Oh
and
my
it was
goodness!
It was a scaffold match. Oh, it was at the ECW arena.
Oh, it was.
Oh yeah, this was early. This was Eastern Championship Wrestling back then.
Oh, okay, so before the revolutionary switch.
Yes, because that's the thing. He was pre the switch, and that's why Terry was such a big icon in ECW, because he was there before and after. Like with the Sandman, Shane Douglas, there was that handful, that key group, and he was the veteran. He was the guy. So he really led a lot of that. So a lot of great memories. And one of them that really stands out to me was obviously ECW was starting to become pretty big in Philly, and WCW had one of their pay-per-views at the Civic Center. I think it was in 93 or 94, and it was Slammiversary, and it was like a Legends themed one, and like then Terry Funk showed up on there, so it was like kind of cool to see him kind of get more of a promotion. It was kind of to get all ECW over, but it was but no, definitely someone that was still doing it. I felt like he was almost retired so many times. Like I feel like I said, like he was wrestling with Tommy's House of Hardcore. It felt like not that long ago. And then, the same thing, because I was lucky to meet Dory Funk Jr. A handful of years ago, too. And obviously, their tag team escapades over the years. Did not see them tag together, though. That was pre my time.
Yeah. Now, pardon me for asking, but is Dory passed, or is he still alive?
Oh, no, he's alive. He's alive.
Oh, okay.
Dory Jr.
I was just curious.
Originally, I actually have, because I have a, when I met Dory, I got his t-shirt. So I actually have a Dory Funk Jr. t-shirt.
Okay. Alicia, any thoughts on Funk?
And pardon, what? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. Any thoughts on Terry Funk at all?
Well, legend has it, him and Vince Russo are still battling across the arena from that one episode of WCW.
Oh, nice.
I know it's not one of the best moments, but for me, it's one of the moments that absolutely stands out because I still think of it from time to time. There's so many, though. It's like, I remember, because you gotta, like, I was young when he was still wrestling, and I was always like, who's that grandpa? in a sweet way, of course, not like disregarding him, of course, like, but always just thinking, wow, this dude's badass, because like he is still fucking going.
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But he did a lot for the business, and like Bill was saying earlier, he's grandfather to deathmatch. Like we really wouldn't have hardcore and deathmatch wrestling the way we would without him, and of course many others. But just takes you back how long generation wise that kind of wrestling has really been going on.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, people think of just hardcore being in the late 90s.
The 90s because of the Attitude Era, but it's been part of it since the beginning.
Funk has always been a tough SOB, Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
and that's so many in the industry were so tough, like Dick the Bruiser, the Crusher, all those guys,
Another generational thing is how different that era of wrestling is compared to now. Whereas they were really kind of stiffing each other a lot. I mean, it still happens and stuff, but they were really chopping the HE double hockey sticks out of each other back then.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Rattling each other's brains, taking real chair shots, all that,
Well, speaking of chair shots, you want to see one of the all-time performances. One of the most infamous ECW moments when it's Funk and it's Cactus Jack and it's Public Enemy, and the fans throw all the chairs in the ring, which then everyone tried to duplicate that later. Just watch Terry Funk in the ring as it's going on. because he gets hit by a couple of the chairs
Mm.
and then he drops like a sack of potatoes. It's great.
Oh,
Iconic moment.
Iconic
It
moment
is.
of him. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a flare that like drops face first, but he did it with the chairs, and it was pure gold for early ECW.
Yeah.
Nobody liked the Funker.
Yeah, whenever there's a reel of highlights of ECW stuff, that is always included.
Oh,
in
yeah.
there. All the chairs flying and everything. Yeah. Well, I'm seeing a lot of faces I haven't seen in here in a while. It's good to see everyone. Please, be kind in the chat. Let's be nice. It's not that hard to be nice. But yeah, so I'm just going to switch gears over to Bray, and then we can talk more Impact stuff. I don't intend to talk about Bray all night, but I personally can probably reflect on more Bray Wyatt than Terry, because Terry was just before. Like I started watching wrestling again just before the year 2000 at the tail end of the NWO stuff. So whenever Terry was around, even when he was Chainsaw Charlie, that was still before I started watching wrestling again. Like I watched Hogan and stuff in the early to mid 80s, but then I checked out for about a decade. So
yeah,
I'm
gaps
glad,
in the resume.
Yeah, and I'm glad some of you can at least fill in.
That was the early 2000s for me.
Right.
I think that was a lot of us. I did the same thing. I think
Yeah,
the whole
once
Attitude Era, which everyone obviously puts high regard, and it was the most popular era. Like that you got to give kudos. But it was more casuals. It was when casual fans existed and watched wrestling, because they were appealing to non-wrestling fans, and kudos to them. They figured out the formula. But a lot of wrestling fans, I don't think were as into it. So they kind of tuned out. Like if you liked territory wrestling and that type of old school stuff, you got none of that during the Attitude Era. So if that's what you were looking for, it probably wasn't your cup of tea. That's why when TNA and all restarted, ECW before that was what I liked. Like there was differences to it, but it was still that whole type of territory style of wrestling, which I think that's what I grew up on. But then I also appreciated some of the bigger stuff. But then and I knew it. I knew what was going on, but I didn't want to follow it as much back then when it got so popular. Just wasn't appealing to me. The storylines didn't appeal to me back then.
Yeah.
A lot of good
100%.
shout-outs there for different matches.
I see excuse me, damn. I see Styles in the chat. What's up, Styles? Yeah, so friggin' oh, excuse me. Courtney in the chat. Hashtag Husky Harris. Rest in peace. You know what? Thank you for bringing that up.
First NXT class.
That was the first, NXT, and I think it even debuted in Milwaukee. I want to say I might be wrong. I might be wrong on that one, but I remember on a ticket that I had, it said like SmackDown and ECW, and it was supposed to be an ECW show that was planned, but then we ended up getting, instead of a taping for ECW, we got the first NXT show. So, but yeah, that first class, oh my goodness. I don't even remember who's all in the first class.
It was a long time ago.
But I know
you had him, you had Skip or whatever Ryback's name was.
Skip. Oh yeah, it was. Oh, and
Skip Sheffield, something like that. Yeah,
Skip Sheffield.
A lot of alliteration in wrestling names.
Heath was in there, wasn't he, in that first class?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Heath was pre that. 3-man band and all was pre that. I thought. Oh no, maybe it was. I don't know.
You know.
And then you had Danielson at one point, so there was all kinds of. early. Oh yeah, Heath was in it. Then went right to Skip Sheffield. They're all crazy.
Right. Brian Danielson was in it, but then he got fired, and then they brought him back within the next year.
Well, he was in Nexus.
Right. And then Wade
controversial firing, and then got let back.
Right. Michael, Gary Rossetti here. Yeah, Michael Tarver. Yeah, that's one that doesn't get talked about too much because he lasted about 2 seconds. Sadly, Darren Young, who is now Fred. I'm gonna botch his last name. Rosier. Yeah, and he's killing it in New Japan. Yeah, so there's still some around. Yeah, that are, still in the career with making a career out of it. But that Husky Harris, right off the bat, I remember one of the first things they said about him is that he was, what did they say? He had the speed of a Lamborghini in the body of a tank. It's something to that effect. And that he was oddly athletic for his size because he was a big boy. He was a big boy. And man, I knew there was something special about him even back then. But then, it was a competition in that first season.
Go. Army tank with a Ferrari engine.
That's it. Critical Sting. Thank you. I was close. I'm not a car guy, but I knew it was something like
Jay
that.
Bone, you did good. You did good, Bone Man.
It was close. Thank you. Doggone it. And then he went away for a while because, you got to come up with a gimmick, And 2000, I believe it was 2012, that first year of NXT, the inaugural year when it actually became its own brand down in Florida. And that was the birth of Bray Wyatt. And they put together the Wyatt family, which consisted of, and even here's another one, rest in peace, Luke Harper, Brody Lee, and Eric Rowan. You don't see him for a while. Yeah. And so iconic. The first thing I remember, and while we're talking about this, put your favorite Bray Wyatt memories in the chat, please, because I'd love to see them, whether it's a match or a promo or whatever. My favorite thing, it's 2012, 2013, and it's around that time. It might have been just a hair after that, but when you had the Shield versus the Wyatt family, I thought that was like the most iconic, because if you knew me, been podcasting for 10 years now, I was a Shield guy. So the fact that we had the Wyatt family versus the Shield, like a 3 versus 3, and I don't remember what pay-per-view it was. Critical Sting's probably going to answer that question. But man, I just thought that was so iconic and so different because he had a whole new crop of people coming up in the industry. It was fresh. You were starting to stray away from nothing against like John Cena, but this was like a new class of people that was coming up.
I'll agree with that. I want to say that Bray Wyatt stood out as a larger-than-life character, and it's something we hadn't seen in a couple of decades in wrestling.
Right. And it just goes back to his athleticism, his promos. His promos were certainly part of that, like you said, larger-than-life. The
character in general it had the approach of being larger than life. It was something you might have seen back in the heyday of wrestling when it was on TV and stuff like that, in a time where characters weren't a thing anymore.
Yes.
Everybody's real guy and real person in real life and real. And then we get someone like Bray Wyatt who is given a character and fully embraces it and gives it something different.
Absolutely.
Stunning.
Yeah. And his presentation of his promos goes back to guys like Jake the Snake Roberts, where you really had to pay attention to what they said. He wouldn't scream at the camera. He wouldn't scream into a mic. He'd almost whisper his promos, and it made you listen. And you sat on every word because you were like, whoa, what's this cat talking about? It's like you knew it was something iconic that he was putting out there.
Sure, I'll join your cult.
Yeah, right.
No
right.
problem.
Right. I'll walk in the swamps with you. Sure. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Let's do this. Yeah, all those first NXT promos where it looked like people were just kind of like dancing in the swamps, or chilling or like almost like bowing down,
Mm-hmm.
like old school Southern. I don't want to say Baptist. That's not what I'm thinking of. Old school, like a snake charmer, sitting in a tent and
a snake oil salesman, everything. Yeah. It was a lot of things kind of rolled into one. You can tell he got inspiration from some unique figures.
Absolutely.
You know what's the shame is that as large as that personality was, we really never got him at its full capacity.
Yeah, I agree.
Seemed like right when he was about to hit it, WWE would roll him back, and it was a shame.
Yeah, like he'd get the championship, and then now I love Goldberg. He's always going to be a favorite of mine, but a guy like Goldberg
sure.
would roll over him, and it's like, oh no, it just didn't seem right, Like I'm all for the the elder statesmen to still get the the wins here and there, but man, there was just something about Bray, man. It was time for Bray to mow over some legends, and it just never seemed to get going. I mean, he had some classic stuff and some fun fight. I didn't really get into the Firehouse or what was it called? The Funhouse, excuse me.
Firefly.
Yeah. Firefly Funhouse.
Thank you. With Cena and stuff like that. It was entertaining, but I wanted to see a real match, not like a Twilight Zone episode, But, that's somebody's vision,
Well, they did, and they let him kind of be more creative. Like he went off more of the reservation with some of that storyline ideas than usually they kind of come up with. But I think for, like, if you talk about, like, push and having more, it's almost maybe a tamed back version, because I just don't know if, like, that company would go that far in any direction. It's almost like they got, over the years, obviously, The Undertaker to a certain extent, but, like, how far would they go with some of these gimmicks? Like, they went pretty far with it. But then it's just like how far do you go with it and how long? And I don't think they ever really knew what to do with it. Because he's something you couldn't put him in a box. And I think that at times makes it almost tough to figure out what to do with someone that doesn't fit in a box. Or he was a square peg, round hole.
Okay. I don't know if my buddy Styles is in the chat, but it's his birthday, so happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Styles!
Yeah. He sent me a picture while we were live here, and I just happened to quick go back to my Facebook tab and look at it. He's wearing an old STP shirt. So hey, I'm feeling the love. So I got to give it back.
Stone Temple Pilots, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Stone Temple Bone. There he is, Styles. There he is. So yeah, give Styles some happy birthday love in the chat. I saw earlier in the chat there was a little bit of a controversy. I don't want to say it was an argument because we all have our own rights to like and or dislike what kind of matches we like from whoever. But I know one of the last things that Bray did was that it was like a Mountain Dew pitch black match, I believe is what it was called. And it was against who is now someone who is just absolutely exploding on the scene, LA Knight. I actually really liked that. I mean, it was different. It was weird. I don't know who had a hand in that as far as the creative sense of it, but man, it certainly feels like something Bray would do.
Okay, it fit his character.
It totally did. And I loved the fact that he was getting a fresh start back in the WWE again, because when they let him go, it's like, man, what? How do you screw up someone so special and someone so unique? I don't get it, and I know I'm preaching to the choir on that one because I know I'm not the only one that said that. But any final thoughts on Bray before we continue with some Impact stuff?
Just condolences and wish the family, obviously his dad, Mike Rotunda, the best. And no, I know obviously what JoJo, he was with JoJo and they had small kids. I did hear, I guess, all the merch sales currently of Bray Wyatt merchandise are going to the family, so that's good to hear.
That's good.
My condolences to his 4 kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He had a previous marriage prior to JoJo, and there's a lot of people hurt in the wake of these events. So try to be considerate of the family and rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I know what I'm gonna. I got a day off tomorrow. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go find me some Terry Funk matches and some Bray Wyatt matches. And
yeah, I know someone did ask, and I think actually did a super sticker and asked how many matches Terry had in Impact TNA. It's 2.
I saw that.
He had 2 tag matches, one with Raven and one with Sandman.
Wow.
Both against, at the time, one actually features CM Punk, right? It was against the Gathering back then.
It was, yeah, Julio De Niro and Punk versus Sandman and Funk, and I'm pretty sure we talked about that one. That was towards the end of the Asylum
era.
Yeah. Man, where did that Punk guy go? He had a hell of a career ahead of him. No, I kid. But yeah, and then Terry Funk did come back for that hardcore reunion, didn't he?
Did he do? Yeah, he didn't have. I don't think he had a match though.
I thought he had I thought he did like a tag match with.
Did he do a tag
with either Tommy or someone? I don't know. I thought he did.
There's been so many different kind of reunions and stuff like that. I just wasn't sure if it was actually at an Impact show though.
Yeah, I could have swore he came back for something else hardcore.
He did the one night stand, ECW one night stand. He did.
Oh, okay.
But that was against Edge, Lita, and Mick.
Oh, that's interesting. God, yeah, I don't remember that. I remember a few highlights, but not a lot of specific stuff. Other than that place was absolutely batshit crazy. So
but he made the rounds. He was there at MLW, XPW. He was at a lot of those companies in those early 2000s.
Absolutely. All right. Let's talk some. We'll switch gears over to Impact. Some stuff right now. I found this right before we went live, and I thought this was interesting, so I just wanted to touch on this. House of Glory just advertised the return of the former vaudevillains. Simon Gotch and Matthew Raywalt are reuniting in their House of Glory debut at an event called Fallout in September.
Yes.
So
yeah, because he did tease this. Raywald, I think he put out something maybe a month ago saying that he was taking wrestling bookings again, and maybe the vaudevillains. So obviously, there you have one.
There you go. Do I think that pair is going to do anything in Impact Wrestling? I don't know. What's that?
Awkward turtle.
Oh,
I won't address. If you know, you know. But that's a whole elephant in the room.
I am not aware.
Good.
So I'm just gonna.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So quit paying attention to it. Keep talking.
Let's talk about Multiverse United. I unfortunately did not have the time to watch this. Alicia, I don't know if you watched it at all.
I saw clips, but that women's match looked dope as fuck.
It was a very, very good match. Very good match.
I'm going to have to check out some of those clips because I'm pretty sure Impact Wrestling put some of that on their YouTube channel. But Bill, why don't you just at least, we don't need to run down the whole thing. Bill, why don't you just at least talk about some highlights because you were there live.
And I'll be right back.
Yeah, like okay. I thought, and obviously let us know. I don't know if Dr. Gerbs, who's in the chat, was also there. If you are there, if you did watch it, obviously let us know in the chat. And what you thought, obviously, versus the first Multiverse show, and what you thought about this joint show. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I go to a lot of shows at that building, and a lot of times you see the same crowd, a lot of the same people, and there were some of the same people, but definitely a lot of people traveled in. One sign of a lot of people traveling into a show, usually like you get there because you drive in and you head out. The amount of like Ubers that were waiting outside the venue door is the biggest line I've ever seen. There had to be 20 Ubers waiting outside.
Oh, wow.
So that just shows you a lot of people traveled in for this show. I think that's a New Japan type crowd. And like I said, this was more of a New Japan show, but just like other than the talent you saw on screen, obviously the coach Scott D'Amore was there, Daniel Spencer, who was doing some matches, and Alpha Bravo and Ingrid were at the merch stand. So good to see some of the contingent on hand. But
was slightly out of character, or was he like jerk off?
Well, no, he was selling the merch, but when he saw me, he made sure to be Johnny Bravo, which is okay.
Okay.
But overall, and because I go back to where I saw a lot of the early New Japan Ring of Honor joint shows, and they were good shows, but a lot of how the matches kind of went and the booking, you'd be like, because it was tough to make everybody happy with those type of shows, because you have companies where you're putting your talent against each other, it's not the easiest thing to book because everybody wants their talent always to look good. But here I thought the Impact talent overall looked very good in this show. Like when you go wins losses, like on the pre-show, 2-0 on the pre-show, J-Bone for Impact Wrestling. Good
Not
night
bad.
at the pre-show. Good
Not
night.
bad.
So and a lot of fun, and obviously like guys like Kenny King way over with the crowd. Obviously a heel in Impact Wrestling, but way over with the crowd, which was pretty cool. Malcolm, thank you for the tip. I will get to that in a second separately because there is some news about that, unrelated to Multiverse. But just like I won't go over the whole thing, but just some different like highlights for sure. Obviously, the main event, you can't go wrong. Anytime you're still lucky enough to see Tanahashi, one of the people like that really got me back into New Japan years ago. That era with Okada and Nakamura. But Tanahashi, they would always say the John Cena of Japan, and it's true. Like it's tough not to root for that guy.
Yeah.
So seeing him still in a singles match, Shelley came champion out of nowhere and has some pretty darn good matches. In the tag match, obviously he was on the losing end in the tag match. But Mike Bailey with Takahashi, though, like Mike Bailey, if you didn't see, there was the juniors festival the day before, which he won. Mike Bailey had a great weekend. He's just becoming more and more of a star, and that just seeing Mike Bailey, like he's in his element on these shows.
Now, what was that show that? Because I heard them mention that during the show, but what was that?
It was their Super Junior Festival. So they bring in all junior, light, heavyweight, cruiserweight, whatever you want to say, wrestlers from around the world and put them in a bunch of different types of matches, a lot of multi-man matches. But there's also a small tournament, which Mike Bailey won during that show.
Was that on Fight or was that like not television?
That was on Fight as well. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So definitely there's some good matches. Well, the finals was him versus Kevin Knight.
Oh.
And Kevin Knight had a great weekend.
I love Kevin Knight. That guy
can do no wrong. After that Moose match last week, which was fantastic. Like he's on a trajectory right now, Kevin Knight. So that's another person that really, really stood out. Dr. Gerbs is right. This is something that people brought to my attention. There was no multiverse, like because I was wearing my multiverse from California show T-shirt at this, and people were like, "Oh, where's the T-shirt?" Because they thought it was for that show. They thought it was the Multiverse 2. There was no Multiverse 2 T-shirt. So that's a loss. Because and I'm surprised because I thought like New Japan might sell it because they were selling a shirt for the Junior Festival the day before, which is like it was $30 for a USA print shirt. If you want the Japan print, $60.
Oh, jeez. That's what you call shipping and handling.
Yeah, correct.
Oh man.
But yeah, no. Sadly, no shirt. But other matches, obviously, the full Bullet Club was cool to see. And obviously, the return. That was Josh Alexander's first match since the injury. I know it felt like we saw him return a while ago, and he did, but he actually has not had a match until right now. And he was doing a bunch of German suplexes. So, like, I'm sure it's going to take some time to kind of get fully back into the swing of things. But it was good to see him in action again because it's still very quick since that injury. Maybe the surprise of the night, ZNA, Eddie Edwards, Moose, ZNA. they beat Zack Sabre Jr. and his partner there, Shane Haste, TMDK. I didn't see that coming at all. Because you have guys that have a long history together, but they're not really a team in any way, or haven't been for years, against one of New Japan's like bigger factions. So that was a very good win. So once again, Impact kind of came out on some of this stuff, and Chris Sabin winning that the 8-way scramble. And then you saw it in the highlights tonight where Bushi attacked him afterwards, which is obviously leading to something in the future. So
I can't
looking
wait.
forward to that. And if you saw, Bushi had kind of like, it was like a sick mask that had Impact on it.
Yeah.
Like it was like New Japan and Impact. So that
I saw a couple of clips. Yeah. So, yeah, and I saw the list. And
So, no. Overall, good show. Hope we get to see a Multiverse United 3, maybe.
Maybe. Make it like a yearly thing if the relationship is good, man. Make it happen. Hell yeah.
Yeah, now I don't know how long we'll have to wait, because obviously you got Mania week coming in Philadelphia again. So maybe April we get to see this, and hopefully we get to see the Deanna Julia one-on-one match, because that's obviously what that match teased, was a Julia versus Deanna match at some point, and hopefully we get it, because just from the little bits we saw, like the thing that Julia has, she has that presence, that look, like she looks like a star. And like in that match, I'll tell you who was the star of the match. Giselle Shaw.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
She took the loss, but she did 2 spots. And I remember we've talked about this with Giselle. Giselle was known, like in Progress and stuff. She did some crazy acrobatic things, and kudos to Impact. They're not having her do all those, like the whole Brian Cage giving it away every week. Like, we know you can do lucha stuff. Don't do it every week for matches that don't matter as much.
So they're like, tone it down a little.
Tone it down. And Giselle, when she wants to break out some of that stuff, like she was doing crazy stuff in this match.
Oh, wow.
So she, like, just look at those highlights, because I have a friend of mine that will admit over the years, not a fan of usually female wrestling. Mm-hmm. That's not usually his thing.
Right.
He's like, best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
When you're taking people like that and they're like, that's the best match of the night, and they're not usually even interested in that match, that's saying something. So kudos. And he even specifically said she was crazy. Like, I think that's one of the things that really got the interest. So definitely tune in for, like, at least see the highlights of that match if you can. Yeah, and luckily, like, it was a bad, and she came right up, because I'm like, she was crazy to do it. She didn't land it. She took a quite a fall, but she popped right back up. But I'm sure she was smarting after the show. I'm sure that she was feeling that for a couple days.
Wow. I hear Bell's boy saying, hell, Giselle executed a top rope Spanish fly.
That's the other move.
On Yana, for God's sake.
There are the 2 moves you got to see. The Spanish fly, and then that's where she goes outside the ring. Like that. Those 2 things are just crazy.
Wild. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a sucker for a good Spanish fly move. I love that.
I love the Spanish fly.
That goes way back.
Very dangerous move, the Spanish fly. I love it, but it's a risky move. A lot of trust. And that's why I was saying, as soon as they were going up for that, it's like a lot of trust being shown right here.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Hopefully within the next week or so, I'll order it and just take some time and kick back and just enjoy it. But yeah, by all means, folks, it's $25. Go order it on Fight. I think it's exclusive on there. I don't think it was on YouTube like some of the others.
Other than the pre-show.
Right. So, let's see. We can go over some highlights of this week's. Let me jump into the results. I was in one of those moods tonight where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch this show. I'm gonna have it kind of on in the background. And for the first time in ages, I just didn't take any notes. So,
well, understandable considering the timing of things.
Yeah,
it was hard to stay focused.
Yeah. So, well, we could talk. We could talk about. Let's see. I'll just kind of scroll down the page here. I do want to give some love to the BTI match, which and then kind of like shifted into the main show, which it's great when they do that because it really makes you want to watch BTI then be like, oh, hey, we need to start watching this.
Well, I wish it was, and that's fine for, I guess, online because it does play together like that. On TV, that would be tough because BTI is not preceding it on TV. So it probably felt a little disjointed at first. But then Hannafin had like the quick save, like this was just like in Raywald. They kind of then gave you an idea. At first you're like, what the heck's going on here? But then you realize what it was.
Right. And it was what was even more interesting is while things were starting to, like, we'll just say, shake up in the ring, right in front of us, they quick scooted Gia Miller out.
That was creative because I was like, where'd Gia go?
Right. If you weren't like sitting right there like me and Justin were, Justin can attest to this too if he's just still in the chat. We're like, what's going on? And all of a sudden, Matthew Raywald, boom, quick zooms in right in front of us and sits down. And then what I accidentally spoiled.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. Yeah, because just out of excitement. 2 weeks ago, when I was talking about the piece of table that I got from being a Titanium member, it was signed by PCO from the table that exploded right in front of us. You folks now see what I was talking about. So that was very cool. And I gotta give props to what's his name? Russ Jones. So excited to see Russ Jones. Do yourselves a favor and go check out Russ Jones versus Champagne Singh because man, live that was so much fun. Russ Jones is one of my favorite up and comers in it's that Trent's company, AWA. And he just looks like the ultimate badass. I had the pleasure of meeting him post show, and I just had to mention that it's a lot of fun, that whole first segment, and that spot PCO. That Swanton he does the what's it called? Oh, the animator. I'm just reading the notes here. Off the top rope, just sick, man. With the stuff that guy puts his body through, and then Justin and Anna, thank you. Yeah, it's not AWA, it's AAW. My goodness, brains all over the AWA. Yeah, I jump in a time machine and
What's in that drink you're drinking there?
Oh, this is just some flavored water. But this over here, this is one of those dollar store bangs. And this is hilarious because this is if you go
get
to
your
the
money's
dollar
worth
store,
at a dollar store bang.
Yeah, you go to the Dollar Tree and you find the bangs that you don't see anywhere else. That's the funny thing. I like they have the flavors that I've never seen anywhere. This one's called Purple Guava Pear.
Is purple
it
a
actually
flavor?
doesn't. It's probably one of the better ones I've had from the dollar store because I've had a few from the dollar store that are Bang Energies, and they're why they're at the dollar store. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's stick with the 99 cent can of Arizona.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, or what is that other one I always get from the dollar store? It's a giant can of peace tea or peach tea.
Yeah.
I like the peace tea.
Yeah,
Peace.
that's good
The
stuff.
Arnold Palmers.
Oh, I like a good Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. Half lemonade, half whatever. I don't know.
Iced tea.
Anyways, yes. All right, then we got Trinity versus Jody Threat in a non-title match. This one was trying to remember what it was like live. This one was a lot of fun because it was great to see Jody Threat, even though non-title opportunity, just to get a match like this against the champ. What'd you guys think?
I'll go first. These two started the show with what I think was an amazing match. Especially, I believe this is the first time they've been in the ring with each other. And from completely two different, really, backgrounds. Jody was dominating the independents while Trinity was in the big leagues with WWE. So this is like one of those dream matches to be kind of, to use the words people like to use so much. And Jody looked great against Trinity as well. They really told a story with their two different personalities. Mm-hmm. Sorry if I'm rambling. I was just really impressed with this one. So go ahead and take over.
You never go first. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Well, because like this one really kind of stood out to me. It's like I always tend to have more to say during the women's matches because obviously that's what I'm more invested in a lot of the time. Because I like to support the women's wrestling, being a woman. Yeah. But this one was really good. I thought, again, I love that they keep keeping it fresh with not repeating the same kinds of matches in the beginning like they were doing in the beginning of the year. And every week, it's just something more spectacular. And this was really good. This made, I feel like even though Trinity got the win, which is to be expected, Jody didn't look like a loser in this. I feel like it really boosted her in-ring presence with this match. So yeah, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Don't apologize, please. I fully agree with you because you look at what Trinity's done in the ring since she's come to the company, and typically, if you look at where she came from, her reputation, she's from up here. You'd think she'd be getting a bunch of squash matches, bunch of 2-minute matches. No, she is whooping ass, taking names, but also making whoever she's in the ring with look great.
Yes.
And not everyone does that. And so I really gotta give it to Trinity for constantly for just like off the top of my head, I want to say for being a team player because you can tell she is a part of this team. Absolutely.
Yes.
She's
about the brand. She's about the brand.
Exactly. It's like, oh, there's the knockouts and then there's Trinity. No, she's a knockout and she shows it every week in her matches. So, no, thank you, Alicia. I completely agree. Bill?
No. I definitely agree. They're a great way to start the show. Good to have the knockouts start the show. That's kind of been the trend lately. A lot of knockouts to start the show, which is good. And no, I think Jody still looked good here, even though Trinity got the win. And I want to give a special shout out to Jody because I know at the upcoming Emergence and Fallout shows, she is sponsoring a school supply drive for the area. Oh. So anybody that's attending the shows, please feel free to bring any new school supplies to the shows to donate.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Jody for doing that as we approach the upcoming school year.
Yeah. That's a good community thing to do, honestly.
It is. Yeah, she's a good one for that because school supplies are expensive.
They are. It's not all cheap. There's pencils.
My friend's got two. to like grade school. One's kindergarten, one's like second grade, and it's over $130 worth of school supplies.
Yeah.
So if you can donate, please.
Trapper keepers.
You don't have to have kids to give a shit about kids.
Exactly. Or donate stuff to the schools, because a lot of times teachers will buy a ton of stuff for
tissues,
their kids.
all that kind of stuff. It helps.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the times, like, people don't know this, but teachers come out of their own pockets for school supplies for the classroom, just the classroom. They come out of pocket for that stuff. So every little bit helps when it comes to kids, teachers. Support your community. That's important too. We thrive together, guys.
Yeah. It's the next generation coming up. So
for the kids.
I
wish we had a soundbite. One of my favorite movie quotes of all time that nobody knows. Tim Robbins, the Hudsucker Proxy. For kids.
Yeah, I know.
You lost me again, man.
I can't say I know Tim Robbins. I'm just not familiar with the content.
Almost nobody saw the Hudsucker Proxy, but it's a Coen Brothers movie, but it's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Okay, gotcha.
It's all about for kids. It's the hula hoop. But it's all like it's a mockery type thing, but that's the idea it comes out with to save a company.
Gotcha.
The hula hoop.
Hula hoops are awesome. They will save people's lives.
You're darn right they will.
I'm a hooping enthusiast.
I'm just gonna shake my head and be like, "Yep."
Yep.
Have you hooped, J-Bone? Have you hula the hooped?
Before I broke my back, yes, absolutely.
There you go.
I was damn good at. No, I could not hoop.
I have 10 of them in my bedroom, all different sizes.
Now, is that something that you just like stand on your desk in the bedroom and your husband's just like, "What are you doing?"
I used to go to raves, J-Bone. And that was like a big thing. So I know a lot of cool tricks and all that kind of stuff.
May know a lot about hula hoops.
Yep. And poi and fire hooping, all that kind of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, I just lost a part of my youth there. Apparently, I don't know.
Because Trinity works for Impact. When I go to that I want to bring my LED hoop. It all lights up because everyone gets these little weak puny glow sticks for Trinity's entrance, and I feel like she needs more. Got to represent.
So I need to get some big light up thing. Is what you're telling me?
You don't have to. Well, maybe like a bigger glow stick, not those little bracelets that you can't see in the crowd. You got to get like one of those roadside emergency ones that are like super bright green. It's like the aliens are coming. That's how bright those are.
If I can get it through security.
Or they got the little, I don't know, you can get all kinds of stuff. They got those little gloves that like blink and light up.
Ooh.
You can get wild. You can get creative.
At the multiverse, the headbanger, El Phantasmo, he had his jacket that said like Elf, like it was one of those graphic jackets, like the whole back had like a moving image. Yeah, very
nice. Cool. He was there. Oh, that's badass. No,
he was on the team with Josh Alexander because he's out of the Bullet Club now, so he's part of the World in that match.
Oh, okay. It's not banging it for the club anymore. All right.
No.
Is the Bullet Club still a thing?
Yeah. The Bullet Club is in
the
Bullet Club is in almost every wrestling company there is.
If I can't buy the shirt at Hot Topic, I don't know her. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you guys. You know me. I gotta be a little gremlin.
You're talking about the Bullet Club being everywhere, J-Bo. This was mentioned in the chat earlier, but I gotta reference it because it affects Impact Wrestling and New Japan. But in Philadelphia in September, MLW's coming back to tape. I will be there.
Oh.
But now they're advertising it as New Japan's coming to that show. And why is New Japan coming? Because it's Kushida. Kushida is going to show up in MLW.
Shit.
The time splitter.
Is he representing MLW or is he representing New Japan?
They're acting like it's representing New Japan.
Okay. Then I'll accept it. No, props to MLW. If they can get a good relationship with New Japan and it helps them grow a little, hey, whatever. It's fine. You know?
But we know we'll be seeing Kushida there, so he's making the rounds, which is good. But for some reason he wasn't on the Multiverse show.
Oh, okay.
I was very surprised by that.
All right. Well, whatever. Yeah, I love what Kushida's doing, especially that was that a match she had last week?
Oh, he's had some great matches lately.
Was that oh god, Speedball? I think it was
this match versus Speedball was awesome.
That was tremendous. And I love Kushida's new gear. That's another custom I'm going to be working on. I found some stuff online I'm going to be making.
Ooh.
So, yeah, watch out for that one in the soon to near future. Customs galore coming from Japon. All right. Next, we got Diener with Khan defeating Laredo Kid. I got to say that the Luchadors had a rough time of it in Cicero Stadium when we were there, Bill. I just want
it was not the poor fan base that was there for the Luchadors did not leave home happy, as they say in wrestling.
Between Bully and Diener and the only one I would come off with what would you call like a 50-50 on that would be the Sabin Samurai del Sol match. That was, I'd say that was good enough that you could say that's a win for both. But man, anyone else, man, just having a rough time. Thoughts on Diener and Laredo Kid?
Well, obviously, it's great to see Laredo back, as we've been seeing him now for a while. So it's good to see Laredo.
He's healthy.
Obviously, now Diener and we were talking about it last week, like because it's getting old where the design never won and just kept beating people up after matches. So Diener needed a win. So right now, it didn't seem like I don't want to say directionless. But like Laredo Kid is like he was doing some stuff in lucha matches, but nothing like he wasn't like going in like X Division, I'd say title directions right now. So it was important for Diener to win. And obviously, sadly, it was going to come at the expense of the Luchadors because like I'm a fan of Laredo Kid. I think. I'll say it again. I think Black Taurus could be a main eventer.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on Laredo Kid. I just think with the look of Taurus, his in-ring, I like he should be selling merch. He should be like he could be a huge guy. And we'll talk about Steve a little later. But there is some untapped potential. And I think Impact knows it. But I don't think they are yet ready to pull the trigger on a storyline yet to make it make sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm still okay with whatever's going on with the design and the whole thing with Eric Young. I mean, thank God Eric Young is back. I mean, I think he's gonna carry that one to the end of the chapter. But Yeah.
The design as a concept is probably going to be seen. They're dwindling things down. They're going to be probably easing that off pretty soon here.
Yeah. Probably.
Because, I mean, not for nothing, Diener doesn't even have those guys in the hoodies coming out anymore. So, like...
Right, when it was against Callahan, right?
No, it's like they were having it every yeah. They've always been part of it, but after not Diener, Eric Young kind of parted ways temporarily. They still had those guys even up until I can't think of how recent, but I feel like fairly well, definitely before EY came back.
Okay.
But those guys don't even help no more, and now it's just Diener and that big guy, Big Con, and
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell he's the storyline's starting to, like you said.
Yeah.
So.
Well, before we get to the next part here, which is something to talk about, Jay.
Okay.
I did mention earlier. Someone asked about Tasha Steelz, and they when I'm going to see Tasha Steelz. And if you can go to the private chat here, J-Bone, and do a little share screen of Rooney, not only because there's another show coming up in Philly at the arena in October while Impact is over in the UK. It was just announced the same promotion that the one and only future DMC champ, the GOAT, known as Johnny Swinger, will be in action against Alpha Jr. But also on this card, the only Tasha Steelz, going against Holiday.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah.
So I just because in this area, Tasha Steelz would wrestle like when she did indies, she'd be in this area. So I hadn't seen her doing anything in this area. Obviously, we didn't see her in Impact or even showing up on any indies. So now seeing her here, I think it's a good sign of hopefully a pretty soon return afterwards. Maybe the taping's right after this, or maybe she shows up at the Fallout for Emergence.
I'll take it either way.
Hell yeah.
Love her.
Yeah, that is one knockout that I think we've all missed. She's grown with the company. She's matured as a single star, as a tag star, she can do it all, and it's been too damn long. So,
yeah. Now, hopefully, she's back and ready to return. And I know she occasionally, it feels like maybe over the last month or two, she's even put out little cryptic messages here and there. Like she'll respond to a knockout saying something. So hopefully soon.
Yeah, gotta keep her name out there one way or another. So yeah, keep it interesting there. Yeah. Then we get
that's period.
Swingers gonna be going after the digital media champion Kenny King at Emergence. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, are you talking about one of the all-time best video packages ever?
Oh yeah, it looked like it was done by a third grader. Yes.
Come on, J-Bun. This was fantastic. The different whoever wrote this, and I'm thinking it was RD. I don't know, but it was fantastic. The going from rats to a mouse with the computer, that was fantastic. It was good. It was fit. Alicia, did you see the video package?
I didn't.
You gotta rewatch it. Well, here we go. Justin Miller. I cannot agree with him more. The best video made ever on a Prodigy server. But it was fantastic. And we got tonight on this show 2 Penzer ribs. One in this video and one by John Skyler later. Did you see what they did to Penzer in this video?
No, I missed it. Like
I
saw
gotta rewatch it.
They superimposed WCW Penzer on someone else's body. Did you?
Oh,
You even watch the show, J-Bone?
I had it on in the background. And I'd flip back and forth between making the cover, watching the show, and then I'd look for some news, and I'd come back, and then
I'll get a few screenshots.
Okay.
I'll take them very cheap. In an ode to how this was made, I'm gonna take them with my phone and just show you screenshots off of my phone on the podcast.
Well, good luck with that. All right. We may be safe in doing that.
But no, there's going to be still images. I'm not going to play.
Penzer is I know. Penzer is jacked. Well, I mean, we've hung out with him recently. He's great shape. Yeah. I don't know what they did to him in the video, but all right, we'll see. All right. Let's see. PCO, a frantic. It says PCO is in search of Bully Ray. I did see that one. He's just screaming the hair off his head, looking for Bully.
Bully. Bully.
Apparently, he wasn't there. Then we got ABC, the Bullet Club versus the Good Hands in tag action. Thoughts on this match?
This was a good match. Lots of unexpected spots on both sides. I know Chris and Bay are very capable of it, but I saw a lot of stuff out of the Good Hands. I saw a lot of moves come out of that I wasn't expecting. So, kudos. Good match.
So, are you saying that the Good Hands are starting to look like a well-oiled machine?
I mean, they already are, but I can't get behind the name. Wait! I can't see. I gotta enlarge the screen. What are you showing?
That's
Jacked Penzer. That's kind of freaky. Why is he all oiled up? You gotta explain yourself there, Mikey.
That's a oiled up.
He's just Pens.
That's Penzer from the 80s. Oh, jacked up. Tour. He looks like he's ready for a pose down with Lex Luger there. That's how good he looks. My goodness.
Yeah, I believe in the song they reference to him as a stooge, which is disrespectful to the legend.
Oh, how could you? It's the legendary David.
How
Penzer.
Dare you?
It's seriously. Them's fighting words. Fighting words. We get a promo from Subculture talking about how they're going to be fighting the Rascals this Sunday. And they said they've been defending the titles all over the world. Is this true? Is this true? They've really been doing that?
Well, I can't confirm nor deny.
They've been going all in their country and defending the titles. Multiple defenses.
Oh. Okay. At least okay. At least I could say they're taking the belts to different places. Okay.
They are. Well, T. Hughes, being more specific.
Just Wales.
Just Wales.
Hey, Wales
but multiple Wales.
Wales is across the pond, so I will absolutely give that respect. That's
across the pond.
Those belts are a touring. It's not a bad thing. So they're coming back to the.
They better go stateside again.
Well,
because did you hear what got announced? It was very low-key announced by Tom Hannafin
Oh.
when he was talking about where Alicia will be, Impact 1000, during that fan convention that's included with your paid ticket. They announced the names. Now, they didn't make a big deal about it, but there was a new set of names that Hannafin dropped, and they didn't really say anything.
Oh.
Because among all the luminaries, America's Most Wanted was dropped.
What?
No way.
Wild.
Yeah. So we're getting a little cowboy, a little wildcat.
Oh, it's one of the most iconic TNA Impact Wrestling tag teams of all time.
My guess is if they were doing the social media and all during the show, they would have made a real big deal with a graphic and all. So maybe you'll see that later tonight or tomorrow, probably. Well, it practically is tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll see that announced with more of
all
a
I know
emphasis.
Is I can't wait to get my hands on that new Coven shirt at the show.
Oh,
it's dope. I want to get the Death Dolls one too, but that Coven shirt is sick. Oh. They're both sick.
Sick.
Sorry, using Jess's words.
Is this one that's that they advertised on the show?
Yeah, this is on Shop Impact.
Yep.
Did they advertise? Yeah.
So I only know because Taylor Wilde advertised it on her Instagram and linked Shop Impact. So
yeah,
here,
it's Shop Impact.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
That shit is sick. So I gotta get it, and I gotta get the Death Dolls one because it's a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure reference. Awesome. And I'm gonna buy, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. I don't think they do the Death Dolls anymore.
If you're listening, Jeff, the merch guy, you got a customer here waiting.
Take my fucking money. You have to understand. The last time I went to an Impact show, they didn't even have a merch table. I was like, "What? Excuse me." That's how long it's been. Post-COVID or pre-COVID.
So this is the shirt, the Coven. Right here?
Yes.
Yep.
Coven on the front and then the back.
Just in time for Halloweeny.
This Halloween. This is where's my witches at?
Where's my right here, bish?
Yes. See, look at that. They look like
I'm a witch.
Inviting you. We're all in. We're all sick. We're all whatever. Yes, I'll gladly join the Coven.
The 3 for $60 deal. See, Justin's even gave me a shopping advice. They usually have a 3 shirts for $60 deal at shows. So there you go. Pick one more shirt. You could be like, how about a yup? Finish it off with a yup.
Yeah, yup. Or that brand new Jake something shirt looks pretty good too.
I will just surprise myself.
The PCO gold shirt.
I don't know. If they got a third one that I really like, I'll take it.
That one and that one.
Well, hey, and it's Impact 1000. They might have a themed merch just for that show.
Well, if they got a hoodie, that would be cool.
Ooh.
You know, I wish more people had tote bags. I do like a good tote. I really, it's my pitch to all wrestlers. So when's your tote bag coming out? Because I will buy it. Go buy my groceries with it.
I just bought one from the dollar store.
I think it's good. It's good marketing to have unique things. Like I don't know if anybody remembers when Shotzi Blackhouse was on the Indies, but one of her merch things was a Shotzi pizza plate. Reuse of something you could use a Shotzi Blackheart pizza plate. Genius. You know what I mean? Where are the pizza plates and the tote bags and the car freshener.
I do need a pizza plate. I do have a pizza plate, but not a wrestling pizza plate.
More pizza plates. More pizza plates. More pizza plates.
I'll tell you what, though. I think you just hit the nail on the head, though, with a different piece of merch.
Air fresheners. Yeah, air fresheners, right? For your car. Like, that would be so dope.
Do you know how many people still have old, non-smelling air fresheners from, like,
rocking in their car,
the Attitude Era? Because that's when they made them.
Yeah.
Like, Impact. Throw a wrestler, get, like, a set. Like, people would hang those everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And obviously they'd keep them up as soon as the scent wore off, which is normally quick for those kind, but still.
Yeah. But that's why you sell them in a bunch of packs. The Swinger Fanny Pack.
Fanny Pack. There we go. Gotta get the Fanny Pack.
Well, let's find a custom manufacturer of air fresheners. And we'll just make our own air fresheners.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
I go hard on that one. I feel very strongly about the air fresheners.
There we go. ABC air freshener. There you go. The stuff you could do with this.
The Rascals, but have it weed scented.
Oh.
No, not weed.
Oh,
cover it up. Come on.
You don't want to get pulled over. And
there's a couple of things. Some Nog Champa.
What's the one for teenagers? What's the teenager fragrance?
It's just my air freshener. Pull over.
Well,
no.
Oh God, what's cool for the teenagers? Like, isn't it
like patchouli?
Axe.
Well, Axe.
Patchouli, Axe body spray.
Patchouli and Axe.
Patchouli, some kind of like Nog Champa or patchouli, just some kind of like cover smell. Because, like, in retrospect, if you throw that up in your car, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get searched. Because legally, even though it's recreational in most states,
you want a banned substance smell in the old car.
Yeah.
Back when I was a single bone after my divorce, I used to wear the chocolate Axe.
Now I assume
just buy cologne. Listen,
a Dracor Noir guy.
Yeah, which is a good scent. It's a classic. It's an oldie.
That was my high school. I'm just dating myself there, but yes, that was a Jakar guy. Yes,
I briefly had a dalliance with that, but then I was more of a Polo Sport guy.
Yep, I was just gonna say, if you want to impress any woman, Polo Sport for men, the original scent, Polo Sport. I even have a bottle because I love that shit. I love Polo Sport. It's iconic and they still make it. So get that. Stop wearing Axe because that's garbage. Just buy a nice cologne.
Don't overdo it.
It's an investment. Well, no, it's an investment because with the cologne, all you need is one spray.
The best one I wore, like besides all the Axe sprays. How's that go, Bill?
I'm surprised you got a wife with that. That's foul.
It was
that's ring rust for men.
You walk into it. No, I put on Chrome. That stuff. Any thoughts on Chrome, Alicia?
I don't think I've ever heard of Chrome.
Is that a browser?
Again, Polo Sport for men. That is, to me, the only scent that matters. It's a nice, clean musk smell.
My baby
Chef's kiss.
Chrome, don't you? You love.
She's
Chrome,
like.
She's I guess. Or how about that chocolate Axe I used to wear? That really
Moves by Adidas.
No.
Bod Midnight Rain.
Phoenix Axe. There you go.
Ugh. Again, with the Axe smells. Like, listen, if you're a child, yeah, I guess, because you don't know no better. But I'm telling you, invest in a good bottle. Go to the corny little boutique setup at the mall and get yourself a nice scent. sample as many as you can, shake the coffee beans in front of your face, but find a good scent. But I'm just going to recommend Polo Sport for Men, the original.
That's my recommendation. That's
Polo.
They still
once I
make
went there, I never went back.
It's timeless. It smells good. You only need a spray.
What's that?
And it lasts for hours.
Oh, Tracy says Old Spice. Any thoughts on Old Spice?
I gotta be honest. I dated a cat back in the day who used to wear Old Spice, and it always smelled like cat pee to me.
Oh,
yep. He'd try to kiss me, and I'd be like, "Oh no!"
What? Alicia thinks Old Spice smells like cat pee.
I'm not dissing. That's just probably the way my scent works, but for me, it smells like cat pee. Whew.
Oh my god, that's rich. Because all those commercials, like, oh yeah, don't you quit stealing your man.
Now I never smelt the newer stuff. I know they like rebranded a couple of years ago, so I couldn't tell you any update because my husband doesn't wear cologne, doesn't wear scents at all, so I couldn't tell you.
Now it depends because like I'm a big believer in the Old Spice high endurance deodorant. the Old Spice Sport. So
right.
It's a different smell as a deodorant. So if they have something of that world, but once again, I went Polo Sport in high school, and the numbers don't lie, J-Bone. You stick with
you stick
disaster.
What you know.
No, I'm just kidding. Bill was wrecking some poo-tang back in the day.
Hey, I didn't say any of that.
Well, when you wore Polo Sport, it was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Numbers increase.
Shooting fish in a barrel?
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh, God.
It's just easy.
Now that sounds like a marketing campaign for cologne. Wear this. Get a barrel of fish and start shooting.
The guy's just standing over it. Look, it's as easy as this. Pow.
The real secret to dating is having a nice scent.
Things you learn on the TNI show.
Oh,
we try to be helpful. We try to be more than just a review show.
Yes. And speaking of good smelling stuff, it's not just a brand to trim your hair with. There's also some good smelling stuff on the site.
Oh yeah,
well, which I'm almost out of, which means I need to go to the site and go order some for myself. So here's our fellow scumbag. Hope you're well, bro. Haven't talked to you in a bit, and he's going to tell us all about the Manscaped.com.
I'm here to tell you people about Manscaped. See, when you're a card-carrying member of the Peanut Club, presentation is everything. In my opinion, with a clean shave, you can turn that cocktail frank into bun length. That's right, folks. Kiss your Vienna sausage goodbye and upgrade your grooming habits with Manscaped. And guess what, folks? We got a special deal for the TNI fam. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. That's right, folks. 20% off and free shipping when you use our promo code TNI at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
That's right. Yeah, Mrs. J-Bone loves a bun length, don't you, baby?
Summer might be almost over, but I don't even think I should finish that. Just use the code, get the deal.
I'm getting no
trim your bush.
She's not helping.
Do the deal. Spin the wheel. Make the deal.
And ladies, it works on you too. There you go. All right. I did my bet. All right.
The ladies
do your bit for more bits.
Just got to be a little more careful.
But if you use Manscaped, it's less nicks, guaranteed.
Just don't go sideways.
Tell them
to. Now here's J-Bone. Tell everybody with the grain or against the grain?
I'm old, so my grain's everywhere. So I just kind of do whatever. Oh, sorry, Alicia. Was that too much?
That was my last brain cell dying. God.
All right, we can see.
Okay.
Where are we at here? Let's.
It says the showrunner.
Samurai Del Sol making his in-ring debut. This was definitely a highlight of the weekend. Versus Chris Sabin because, well, let's just say he didn't exactly show up the night before. So for those in the live audience, seeing him on the screen just getting his ass kicked by Lio Rush, that didn't exactly go over very well, just saying. But if it was because of the heat and they changed up things last minute, completely understandable.
But now, well, we'll see. The last scene in the show tonight we'll go over, but now it makes me view that all differently.
Ooh.
Yeah, true.
T.
Well,
yeah, because Lio Rush is just attacking all sorts of people backstage.
He's chaotic.
He's a mess.
A bad child.
Is that way? Is that? Oh, that's right. That's what they call him. The bad hashtag. The bad child.
And we ain't talking about Kalon.
But like when I hear
child.
like bad child, I just picture some snot-nosed kid run around the neighborhood with a full diaper. It's like
I think a problem child.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
That too, but problem child. It's probably why I never had kids, because I saw that movie. It was like, oh God, they could be like that.
I missed the movie, but there was actually a local band back about it's a little over 30 years ago that they sounded a little like Queensryche, and they were called Problem Child, and they kicked all sorts of ass. Loved them. So if you grew up southeastern Wisconsin back in the late 80s, early 90s, you knew who Problem Child was. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think they all knew. Well, I think they all knew who Problem.
Jiminy Christmas.
Nah, yep, there he is.
Don't let him loose in a checkers.
Yeah. What is Drakkar Noir?
Oh.
You smell the Drakkar Noir before he even steps into a room.
He would just walk in front of him with a stick because he had to use a stick.
You smell me. You smell me coming down the block. Oh, is that J-Bone? Oh shit!
The trouble's coming. No. Here comes trouble.
Trouble.
What? Oh no. Nope, not doing it. I only pop off for one song.
Okay.
What song's that?
Hardcore. Hardcore country.
He's coming back.
I hope so.
Someday.
One day. Because then I could change my name back to Hardcore Country.
Oh.
On the Twitter. That was fun. Anyway, the show.
So, thoughts?
You're lucky I don't got to be to work till noon.
She gets to sleep in. Amazing.
Oh, yeah, good luck. I'll be up at 6 a.m.
Thoughts on Samurai Del Sol's Impact in-ring debut against Chris Sabin? Did you guys enjoy it?
Go wrong. Yeah, no. He was definitely he was good. He's what I expected. And Sabin doesn't give a bad match, so you knew it was going to be good. Obviously, Sabin gets the win here. So I enjoyed it. I'll be interested to see if we see him again. Now, obviously, they'll be, or like maybe we see him again back in October, when they're back in Chicago, or does he make his way out for any other shows? So something to pay attention to, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much we'll see him again, but definitely good. Definitely a good match.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed him. Like, I know he was big in the indies as Samurai Del Sol prior to WWE as Kalisto, which he then, blocked me on the Twitter box.
What are you talking shit? Talking shit on Twitter and found out? Oh, no, excuse me. Talking shit on X?
No.
You getting extra sassy on the X? Damn. See how fucking foul that sounds? Like, I can't take that shit seriously.
No, this is what
Did you
I did.
X him up?
No, all I said was when
he slid into his X.
I slid into his. No, Hi, Kalisto. This is Jabon. No. Enzo Amore had just won the Cruiserweight Championship. And I told Kalisto, I said, yeah, it's time for Enzo to hold on to that belt for a while. Kalisto, go take a holiday.
Oh, he took it personal.
Yeah,
oh, he got mad.
And that's all I said. It was real casual. It wasn't like you suck goat balls or nothing. No, it was.
Listen, buddy, you basically told him that, though. You said,
not so many words.
Hey, yo, bitch. Fuck your mother. That's what you said to him in X.
You said,
X speak.
Everybody knows that Enzo.
I'm just fucking with you. I don't know. They're very sensitive.
They are. It's like Jiminy Christmas.
If they're that sensitive, use your Manscaped.
Trim down those edges so you can see better.
That's right.
And go with the grain.
Hey,
Because J-Bone, for comfort, you go with the grain, J-Bone.
Less nicks, Kalisto. There we go.
When you go against the grain, you go tighter. But you get nicks.
Oof. Yeah.
So I'm giving you.
It's got that ceramic trimmer, so it's less nicks.
Just don't go sideways.
No, I'd love to see Samurai Del Sol come back. He's a great luchador. What does he call himself?
I think he fit in pretty good.
The Gloat.
The
greatest luchador of all time.
Oh,
That's
pretty high praise. I don't know about that, son.
Of yourself, yes. Take another holiday. Move over for Toulouse and some of those guys. No, he's good. He's good. All love for Samurai. I hope he comes back. Match was great. A lot of fun live. Certainly looked forward to it. Finally got it. Night 2 was a blast. Okay, now we're shifting gears because it's getting crazy here. It's getting towards
crazy. Crazy.
Yes, did you see what I did there? Just see what I did? Tom Hannafin's, this is part 3, I believe, of the sit-down interview series with Crazy Steve.
3. Says
it goes off the rails. Well, kind of like we do. Only not quite as disturbing. Well, I suppose that depends on your opinion. He starts actually hurting Tom Hannafin because he's holding his hand. And he wants Tom Hannafin to be the one to tell the world that Crazy Steve has had enough and that maybe he needs to, because he's suffered so much, maybe he needs to become the plague of Impact Wrestling. And he starts just
freaking out.
Yeah, freaking out, man. Freaking out. He took the badass, and I'm just gonna say,
and he jumped on someone, and I don't know what was that like.
It was Ingrid. I even have it right. I'm pretty sure it was. You leave Ingrid alone.
You leave Ingrid.
How dare you spit that shit all over her face?
Was that Ingrid? I thought it was.
It was Ingrid.
I thought it was some blonde haired dude. I just
it was some dude.
Yeah,
it looked like a girl. I don't know. Either way, if it was Ingrid, you don't fuck with Ingrid. You're gonna have to answer to me.
Yeah,
I'm sure she was standing around though while it was going
throw
on.
down.
Gee, Alicia's coming to get your ass.
You don't fuck with Ingrid.
So he like was like foaming at the mouth and basically like misted all over this dude, but it's not the typical mist. He was like over him, and it was like it just
like one of those volcano projects, science projects.
Yeah. See, even Justin says it wasn't Ingrid.
Wasn't I don't know where I was then, because here I'm like, oh my god, I was getting so offended. Because I know she's blonde now. Yeah, it's the blonde hair, and I thought I saw glasses on. Because she wears glasses too. I was like, oh my god. I guess I was so in the moment with anger that I just lost sight of who it actually was. I was like ready to jump in the screen and fucking throw down.
Well, you know what? When you first see him enter
I
the
love
picture,
Crazy Steve, but bitch, I'll fight him.
You see just the back ponytailed hair, so you may have been thrown for a loop at first.
No.
Yeah, well, it's all been cleared up. It wasn't, so he gets a pass this time. I guess I'm okay with it.
Okay. So
I approve.
So what is everybody's thought on Crazy Steve becoming the plague of Impact Wrestling? Are we happy with that he's becoming the darker? He's not becoming the super cool nerd we thought he was going to become. He's changing.
Never had a full heel version of Crazy Steve, so I feel like this could get nuts. Like, even when they were in a heel stable, they weren't heels because they were so over with the crowd. You know what I mean? So, wait, what is it?
Bill's showing a picture. It's a close-up of the guy that's laying on the ground. Okay.
It's not Ingrid.
It's still
free green mist. I'm
just going to say my intentions were good.
It looks like that picture that you showed, Bill. It looks like Okada.
It's not Ingrid. I just saw it from the angle of the top of the head. I didn't see the full face. I just saw it from like when the camera went, it was covered in gold. I'm like, oh my god, is that Ingrid? It's like, no.
You're a star,
it's not.
Kid. You're gonna be a star. We're gonna have Crazy Steve get a whole bunch of green mist on you.
Yeah. Crazy Steve as a super heel is going to be sick.
Yeah. He needed, because he become too, like, the Steve became a little too lighthearted, away from the Steve, the early Steve. Just like what's the best Doink? The sinister evil Doink. You need an evil Steve. You need you don't know what Steve's going to do kind of Steve. Especially right now.
Unpredictable. He already is unpredictable. Look at what he did between like not letting go of Tom and then spitting his rabies foam all over not Ingrid. Like I'm here for it.
Not Ingrid, not Palmer. Who was it?
I'm picking up what he's putting down.
Yeah, and I gotta say, what he's done over the last year with Taurus, whether it was part of the Decay clan or not, I loved it because it was over like Rover. I would have put, I don't care if it would have been like a month long. I would have at least put the tag belts on Taurus and Crazy Steve for at least a month. But I am damn curious to see where this is going, and I can't wait. He's very underrated.
I agree. Very
Yeah.
underrated. So, but this obviously that they put 3 segments like this and then had the payoff tonight. They're definitely doing something with Steve. So that's great to see. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see him, and I say it many times. X Division.
Yeah.
X Division Steve. So let's
go after that Leo Rush causing all that backstage shenanigans.
Maybe he'll be like, I don't want to say like the Crow, but like the anti-hero type of X Division
So
guy,
like,
or maybe he'll be like full blown heel. I think it's gonna be like one of the two.
Well, how many anti-heroes can you have, J-Bone, when we got the greatest anti-hero in wrestling going right now? But his bite, where does bite go?
Oh, jeez.
You talking about
here
Johnny
he is.
Swinger?
No.
Oh, baby! Oh,
come on, he's like the Crow. He comes out of nowhere. He gives you the wake up call. He leaves.
Keith is a big old teddy bear, man. He's just.
He gets revenge in the name of his kids.
Well, yeah, he does.
I don't know.
It's funny. I had a little interaction with during the match at the Multiverse.
Okay.
It was Heath and the tag team of champions, Joe Hendry and Yuya, and they came out to just the Joe Hendry theme song. But then Heath came out to it. I'm like, Heath, where's the theme song, buddy? He's like, I told them they should have played it.
Jeez.
I told them.
I guess due to time constraints, they could not play the Heath theme music. But I love me some Heath theme music.
Oh,
it's good.
Give us 5
oh,
seconds.
Baby.
Something.
I just had to keep saying, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Give us an old baby. Shut up, Oreo.
He's an
There's the cat.
Not that kind of old baby.
You want to sell out every venue you go to. Swinger, Heath. Headline every show.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Swinger versus Heath, or just in some capacity?
Has the match happened yet? Bring it on, J-Bud. That'd be fantastic.
You know what?
Legend versus legend.
The legend
DMC, but after he wins that DMC title, he'll start defending it every week. You can get even Stang versus Johnny Swinger. Maybe Pelvis Weasley versus Johnny Swinger.
Oh, maybe even that Lemonhead guy.
There you go.
You love the Lemonhead guy. What the hell is that?
Manny Lemons. Come on,
Manny Lemonhead guy. Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Lemonhead guy.
Oh,
Lemonheads did give us a nice Mrs. Robinson cover. It's a good job.
Beautiful song. Yeah, so great segment with Crazy Steve. MK Ultra gives us a promo because they're facing off 4 different teams are going at it at Emergence. They're facing 3 others. Let's see. Eddie Edwards, Frankie Kazarian are going to be wrestling at Killer Kowalski's wrestling school on Sunday. Cinematic. This could be like in a cage in it. No, that's something different. Let's see. PCO search for Bully Ray continues. And then last but certainly not least, Alex Shelley versus Brian Myers, which, you know, I got to say, when they first announced this at the beginning of night 2 in Chicago, I was like, you know what? I don't know about this one. But then as the night grew on and they kept announcing it, I was like, No, you know what? This is gonna be damn good because we haven't seen. I mean, sometimes you just get these matches and you don't need a build up for it to be just telling a good story in the ring. We haven't had that situation with Brian Myers, I don't think. Maybe if it was against someone else and I'm just not remembering it because I'm an old bone and can't remember shit. But man, I love this match live and watching it again because the crowd. I tell you, if you didn't pay attention to it, folks, watch it again. Pay attention to the crowd. The crowd was ridiculous. My joke from the whole thing was there was 3 people in the whole damn place, 3 people that were cheering for Brian Myers. And at one point, halfway through the match, I yelled to the ring, said, Brian, you're wrestling for an audience of 3. How does that make you feel? He probably blocked me on Twitter too. But
100.
So, well, yeah. So, like, one of the guys you saw there, they kept showing him cheering for Brian Myers. The other guy, one of the other guys was like two seats down from me, and he was just losing his ever-loving mind. What's the guy's name, Bill?
Oh, Greg?
Greg, yes. Great guy. And man, this between the audience going crazy and the match being very good, just a great time. What'd you guys think?
Oh, no, I thought this was when it happened live, J-Bone, I thought it was going to be one of those digital exclusives where we've been seeing a lot of lately, like where they show on Mondays, like world title matches and stuff. That was just for the live crowd. That This wound up being on the main show, kudos, because it was a very good match. You're right, there wasn't like a real big build to it or anything like that, but it was just a good match. And how about this? Who would have thought we would have got into a place where Brian Myers is one of the biggest flag bearers for the brand, card carrying Team Impact guy? Because he really is. He's always representing the brand.
I just read somewhere that he's like exclusive now with Impact, that he actually did sign.
Oh, he has been. Oh, yeah, he did. He did a while back. But remember, they didn't make a big deal about it. Like, he randomly said one day, and this was a while back, like, wait. And he's like, and he might have just recently re-upped again. But, like, they didn't make an announcement or anything. And then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm signed to Impact Wrestling. Everyone's like, whoa, what? But he does, like, he's a constant on everything right now. And obviously he's doing the stuff with Moose now. But he can put in these matches. Like, obviously he had his early run when he was a former tag team champion, when he was with Trevor Lee during the GFW era, the infamous GFW era. But that he's kind of been here doing all these different things over the years is very cool. And I always appreciate somebody that is, because he has, like, through his podcast, through all the different other ventures he does with Cardona and just himself, because he has his own training school and all, it's good that he does all this, which is very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, he's probably even working with Impact, trying to get him to that next level of action figures.
That's what it sounds like. I think he's definitely involved. I think he's definitely involved with all this stuff. So,
like,
he is the most professional.
What the first company was at all. I have no clue what they did. But Boss Fight Studios,
not much.
Hit them up. Seriously. I'm about to order that Taurus figure. 1, if not 2 of them. I'll make one a custom, and I'll keep one regular, because those Boss Fight Studios figs are sick. Sick.
Yeah, and recently he said he'd like to retire in Impact. How about that? Those type of comments.
Not bad. Not bad. He's been around the world. Not bad.
I may retire in Impact, J-Bo.
I believe it.
I'm saying it now. When I call it, I'm calling it an Impact.
They're gonna hire you for a day, and you're gonna be like, I retired. They'll be like, yep, there you go. Here's your pension. grab a t-shirt on your way out.
Not even a hot dog? They get a hot dog and a handshake?
A hot dog and a handshake and a 10% off coupon. No, they love us. They treat us great. In fact, earlier today or yesterday, I was trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna put that the ring skirt in my office, and I'm just, oh my god, I actually took it and like unfolded it,
Drafted?
and I told Tracy, I said, here, just keep going down the hallway.
I told you it wasn't going to be easy,
Oh
J-Bud.
my god, this thing is just ridiculous. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna figure out. I don't know. I'll put it somewhere. We're gonna do something.
It's the one I have is I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's nuts. So fun episode. Emergence is Sunday. Shall we run down the card quickly before we get out of here?
All right, Sunday.
Oh, Oreo, can't wait.
Thrilled.
She's ecstatic, as some might say. Headlining, we've got Trinity defending against Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts World Championship. That is gonna tear the house.
I am the f***ing greatest.
And don't you forget it. We've got the Time Machine, which is Kushida, Alex Shelley, and Chris Sabin, and Josh Alexander versus.
But wait, we didn't go over the last segment.
Oh, sorry. Shit,
Leo Rush took out Chris Sabin. So does that affect
he took out Sabin, yeah. And that's just more fuel to the fire for Emergence.
Bad child.
Right. Bad, yes. Somebody.
Chaos.
But is now Shelley in doubt? Like, is Sabin in doubt? Are we going to hear something tomorrow that Sabin has to be cleared to perform?
Probably. So then Bully, Brian Myers, Moose, and Leo Rush. It'll be great to see Leo Rush back in the ring because he couldn't perform while he was in Chicago.
Yeah, and he wrestled at the Multiverse as well. He looked good.
Oh, good. Who did he face?
Well, he was in the tag match. He tagged with Trey against Bailey and Takahashi.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sunday Emergence. The rare Sunday Impact Plus YouTube Ultimate Insider special.
Right.
Not Friday.
No.
If it was Friday, I'd be like, uh-oh. I ain't leaving yet.
Back to school match with Eddie Edwards and Kazarian. They're probably going to whip out the old chalk and erasers.
Oh, and that just reminded me. Kevin Martin was in Philadelphia for Multiverse. I was thinking of cameramen, and Kevin Martin was also there. I can't forget Kevin Martin.
Good old Big Kev. We got to get together with him sometime soon. Subculture defending against the Rascals. Go Rascals!
I think the Rascals.
Rocky, if you want to get in the box, just get in the damn box. Oh, my cats are going nuts.
I think people could finally get that Rascals tag title reign.
Yes, finally. Well deserved. Sonata versus Jake something. Shut up and take my money. No, it's not for the title. It's just an exhibition.
So that's cool.
Yeah, no complaints there. Diener versus Eric Young in a no DQ. Of course, Khan's going to be with Diener, so maybe we'll see someone back up Eric Young.
And remember, these are the tapings. I might be doing a meet and greet for the first time in a little bit because this is the one where they're advertising a lot of the good Canadian kids doing meet and greets, i.e.
Toronto.
I.e. the first one featuring one Lance Storm and Gail Kim, the legend. So it's tough for me to say no to Gail.
Can I be serious for a minute? Love Lance.
That's a killer combo right there. Lance and Gail.
Hell yeah. Let's see. And for the knockout tag titles, we got MK Ultra defending against Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, the Coven, and the Death Dolls. Sure to be sick. Yes. Sick. Last but certainly not least. Well, it says so much more, so we'll see if we get any last minute.
You'll get another match or two, probably.
Probably. Within the next 24 hours. Swingers Quest Digital Media Championship.
Not the main event.
It should be, though. Okay, maybe second high.
They'll have to keep the Riz-outs locked out.
Yeah. Kenny King.
There's going to be a Toronto infestation.
Absolutely. Versus Johnny Swinger. So, can't wait for that. A lot of fun.
Do it. Let Swinger have his reign. If they could do video packages like that, and I implore anyone that has not seen that or watched it close enough to get all those references to please rewatch that segment because it's about the best 25 to 30 seconds of TV I've seen. And on a week where I didn't get my Dango segment, I needed this.
Ooh.
You know I love good Dango. Segment? A little black and white Dango on the street segment. I
hate pro wrestling. Yeah. All right, so that is the preview for Emergence. Very emotional day today. We got a great Impact Wrestling episode with some very sad news within the last 24 hours to boot. So just keep those families in your thoughts and prayers. And that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks, guys, for joining us. And we'll see you. Well, you're going to be at Emergence, Bill, but I don't know when we're going to talk about it. We'll see. Maybe we'll find time. Maybe we'll just talk about it next Thursday. We'll see.
If not, maybe Sunday night. Who knows?
Well, I'm working till 7, so that's going to be tough.
Okay.
I'm probably going to miss part of it. Yeah.
Sleepy bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a pill for that.
Oh God. I don't have a discount for that one. Anyways, so yeah, on your way out, folks, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. Talk to you soon, folks. Good night.